Okay, here we are inside of Adobe Premiere Pro, and the first thing you probably say to yourself when you see all of these icons and buttons is, where do I start? Well, the place to start is over here, which is our project media window. And to get footage in, first thing to do is to double click and go to the area on your hard drives where the Fraps files are, or the media files are, music and pictures and so forth. I'm just going to bring these files in. These are all Fraps files. Click on Open, and in they come. And got a button here for Icon. Now if we click that, we get a nice thumbnail of the different Fraps files that we want. And to bring these down onto the timeline, two ways of doing this. First thing is just to drop them onto the timeline like so. And let's get another file down there as well. And the good thing is, same with Vegas, Premiere and so on, is that if you move files around, they will snap towards one another. And you see there that black line has appeared next to that file. That means that that will, if I let go, snap to it. Same with this one as well. Snap away, no problem. Now, the other way of bringing files in is to use the trimmer, which is here. To use the trimmer, you can either drag the file over, like that, or you can double click on the file, like so. And to use the trimmer, let's say you want to take from, say, this point here, 4 seconds. You click in point, and you want to take up to, say, there. You take out point, like so, and then drag straight down to the timeline. So instead of taking the whole file, very similar to Vegas, so the whole file is that long, and you can see that this file is, about 50% of that. It just means that you can sort of select what kind of footage or what bits or bit of the Fraps files you want to take down. So I'm going to take another piece of this file here. Let's select an in point there, move forward, select an out point, and let's take a piece of this one as well. So it's just a nice warping shot there, so maybe I want to take it from the moment it warps, from there, move forward a few seconds just after the planet, and select my out point, then drag down to the timeline. So we got these gaps between the files. If we bring them in towards one another, you'll see that they do snap towards one another, which is quite good, because you won't go too far and overwrite the file and so forth. So they do snap quite nicely. Now I think this option here for snapping is sort of set as default. You can uncheck it if you wanted to, but if files aren't snapping and they're just overwriting one another, then check the snap tool option there and they will snap. Now, if we want to dissolve between these different Fraps files here so it doesn't just cut abruptly between them, what we can do is go down here to Video Transitions, and you can see lots of options there, lots of really cool things to have a look at, but let's just do a really straightforward cross dissolve. So if I drag this over onto the file itself, it will got an option here. I can cross dissolve at the end, or I can cross dissolve between the two. Let go, and do the same for this one as well. And you can see it will just kind of blend. If I just play that through, yeah, see, it just sort of blends, cross dissolves, looks good. And should I want to extend the amount of dissolving, so to speak, between the two files, let's just quickly zoom in. I've got a button here for zoom in. If I just click on that and zoom in, what we can do is we can extend the actual effect itself. You'll see up here when I do this, I can't point and do the same at the same time, but if you look up here on the right hand side, as I move this, now there's two pictures there. Picture on the left is the file that we're crossing from, and the picture on the right is the one that we're crossing to, and it will actually indicate where it will exactly do the cross dissolve on the different ones. So that's kind of fine tuning the cross dissolve should you need to, but the standard cross dissolve should be fine. And that's pretty much just bringing in the files down into the timeline and selecting which elements of them you want to use and dissolving between them. Now let's say we want to put some title work into this. Well, we go up here to Title, click on New Title, say Default Still, check that, give your title a name, so let's call this one Intro, and say OK, and just check off that Show Video for now. Click in here, and just type away, so EVE Online. Now it's gone off to the right a little bit there. If we click on the selection tool, we can either move that into position or wherever we want it to be on the screen, or we can just go to our alignment tools here and click on vertical center and horizontal center, and that will be perfectly in the center now. And yeah, I'll quickly show you fonts. If you want to change the font with the piece of text selected, just click on this button here, and this will show you a quick preview of the fonts available. So I've got a lot of fonts on here. Let's just pick this one here, that looks fine. And oh yeah, one quick thing I just wanted to bring up. Got an option here for fill. Now I'll cover the title creator editor because it's, you know, it's pretty detailed and there's a lot to cover on here, but just quickly want to show you this. If you go to fill, and you can see this is the color that it selects as standard. If I just click on that, and you can see that the standard color is 229, 229, 229. You can see that's not absolute white. So if you want absolute white, which is 255, 255, 255, then you have to kind of manually go down there and select it, and you can see that that is now pure white. Now if I just close that down, you can see it appears over here in our project media window, and we can just drag that down onto the timeline and insert it there, and now we have a title, which is pretty good. And you can see now you may see that it just sort of overwrote there. Well, if I just do Control Z, Control Z, by the way, just undoes the last thing that you did. So anyway, to get this title down here before, so it's at the beginning because it's our intro, what you want to do is hold down Control, click on the title, and then drag that down. You can see this new shark fin effect happens here. Now if I let go, it will push the whole of the footage forward. If I didn't do that, as you remember, it just overwrote over the file. So handy tip there. And of course, once that's into the timeline, what we can do is do a quick cross dissolve just by dragging like so, and that will dissolve our title. But play that forward straight into our footage, and our footage will then play through and dissolve into the other elements like so. So created a very quick and easy intro there. Now if we want to bring in music, it pretty much works the same way. I'm just going to delete these here just by highlighting and clicking on the delete key. Let me just import some footage into here. So I'll go File, Import, and should have a music piece here. There we go, EVROC 05. It's going to bring that in and drag it down to the audio track. See, video tracks are here, audio tracks are here. Now, the good thing is, very similar to Vegas, we got an option of seeing the WAV file. So I'm just going to extend this by dragging the end of that, and we can zoom in, and we can see the waveform from there, and work out where the beats are, and work out how to link the audio to the video so that we've got the transitions happening in sequence, and essentially it will just look a lot better if you do that. But there you go, that's bringing in footage and doing a few transitions, and bringing in audio as well, so that you can link them all together and make yourself an EVE Online film. But it may look slightly complicated, but using the trimmer window and bringing in footage and dragging and dropping are really the basics of video editing, and they're the same across all editing programs out there. So once you've got those basics done, you are good to go.